Imagine this. It's 6 a.m. Your alarm screams. You hit snooze. Again and again. You finally drag yourself out of bed at 8:30. Already behind, already defeated, already making promises to yourself. Tomorrow I'll start. You've got the vision boards, the goals written down, the motivational quotes saved on your phone. You know what you're capable of. You've felt that fire before, that moment of clarity where you see exactly who you could become, the business you could build, the body you could have, the life you could create. But here's the brutal truth. You're not doing it. You're researching instead of working, planning instead of executing, dreaming instead of building. You're what the Stoics would call all talk, no action, ambitious in your mind, lazy in your life. And before you click away because this hurts, good. It should hurt because pain is information. Discomfort is your wake-up call. And right now, you need to wake up. If you're tired of being tired of yourself, if you're done with the gap between who you are and who you know you could be, then subscribe right now. Comment "wake up" if you're ready to stop lying to yourself. Because this isn't a feel-good pep talk. This is a Stoic intervention. The ancient Stoics weren't motivational speakers. They were emperors, slaves, warriors, people who lived through hell and came out transformed. And they left us a blueprint for turning ambition into action. Today, we're going to expose every excuse, every delay, every comfortable lie you've been telling yourself. And then we're going to rebuild you from the ground up using 2,000-year-old wisdom that actually works. Let's begin your wake-up call. 1. The uncomfortable truth. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, wrote something in his private journal that should punch you in the gut. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for? Let me translate. Stop whining, get up, do what you need to do. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. Marcus Aurelius was writing this to himself. The most powerful man in the world struggled to get out of bed. He dealt with the same resistance you do, the same voice saying 5 more minutes, the same temptation to coast. The difference? He didn't listen to it. You think you're unique in your struggle. You are not. Every person who's ever accomplished anything has faced the same internal battle, the same lazy impulse, the same desire for comfort, the same resistance to effort. Epictetus, who went from being a slave to one of history's most influential philosophers, said, "How long are you going to wait before you demand the best for yourself?" Read that again. How long? You've been waiting for the right time. There is no right time. You've been waiting to feel motivated. Motivation is a myth. You've been waiting until things are easier. They won't be. The Stoics understood something that modern self-help gurus miss. Action comes before motivation, not after. You don't wait to feel like working out. You work out and then you feel motivated. You don't wait to feel inspired to write. You write and then inspiration shows up. Here's the pattern you're stuck in. You get excited about a goal. You feel a burst of motivation. You make big plans, then nothing. Life gets busy. Things get hard. You get tired. And you tell yourself you'll start again Monday, or next month, or next year. Seneca called this living in preparation to live. You're always getting ready to start really living, but you never actually start. The Stoics had a term for this, akrasia, knowing what's right but doing what's wrong anyway. You know you should work on your business. You watch Netflix. You know you should eat healthy. You order takeout. You know you should go to bed early. You scroll until midnight. This isn't a knowledge problem. You don't need more information. You don't need another course, another book, another video. You need to do what you already know you should do. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Stop talking about what the good man is like and just be one." So let's get real right now. Comment below one goal you've been planning but not executing, because acknowledgement is the first step to change. 2. The Stoic operating system. Here's what the Stoics figured out. Your life is run by an operating system, a set of beliefs, habits, and automatic responses. Right now, your operating system is buggy. It's full of viruses called someday, tomorrow, and when I feel like it. Principle 1, Memento Mori. Remember you will die. You have less time than you think. Not to be dark, but to be real. If you live to 80, you have about 4,000 weeks on this planet. Subtract your current age. How many weeks do you have left? Now subtract the weeks you'll spend sleeping, commuting, doing mindless tasks. Suddenly your time is terrifyingly finite. Seneca wrote, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Every day you hit snooze on your potential is a day you'll never get back. Every evening you choose comfort over growth is gone forever. The Stoics kept skulls on their desks. They contemplated death daily. Not to be morbid, but to be awake. Because when you realize your time is limited, suddenly you stop negotiating with yourself. Starting today, when you don't feel like doing something important, ask yourself, if I had only 1 year to live, would I waste it like this? Principle 2, amor fati, love your fate. You've been waiting for circumstances to be perfect. They never will be. You don't have enough money. You're too tired. You don't have the right connections. You don't have enough experience. You've got too many responsibilities. The Stoics would say, so what? Amor fati means love of fate, accepting your circumstances completely and working with what you have right now, not someday, not when things are easier, now. Marcus Aurelius ran an empire during a plague, multiple wars and constant betrayals. He didn't wait for peace to practice philosophy. He practiced philosophy in the chaos. You're not going to wake up one day with perfect conditions. The perfect time is a fantasy you use to justify inaction. Stop waiting for inspiration. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for when things settle down. They won't settle down. Life is case. Build anyway. Principle 3, the discipline of action. The Stoics divided philosophy into 3 disciplines. Today we're focusing on 1, the discipline of action. This is simple. What can you do right now to move toward your goal? Not tomorrow. Not next week. Right now. In this moment. You want to start a business? What's one action you can take in the next hour? Research a domain name. Outline your idea. Send 1 cold email. You want to get in shape? What can you do right now? 10 push-ups. A 5-minute walk. Throwing out the junk food. You want to write a book? Open a document. Write 1 sentence. The Stoics believed in starting where you are with what you have. Epictetus said, don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do happen, and you will go on well. Translation: work with reality, not against it. You've been demanding that motivation show up, that energy appear, that circumstances align. Stop demanding. Start doing. Here's your challenge. Take 1 action toward your biggest goal, not plan, not research. Action, like if you stop wasting your time and commit to it now. The Stoic daily system. Philosophy is great, but you need practical systems. Here's the Stoic daily routine that will transform your lazy ambition into disciplined execution. Morning, the premeditation. Marcus Aurelius would start every day with a practice called premeditation. He'd think through his day and remind himself of Stoic principles. Here's your version. Wake up at the first alarm, no negotiation, no snooze. The Stoics believe that how you start your day determines everything. If you can't win the first battle, getting out of bed, you've already lost. Seneca wrote, begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life. The moment you open your eyes, say out loud, I will not waste today. Then, before touching your phone, sit and ask yourself 3 questions. What's the most important thing I must accomplish today? What obstacles might I face and how will I handle them? What Stoic principle will I practice today? Write these down. 3 minutes. That's your armor for the day. Midday, the check-in. Epictetus taught his students to constantly monitor themselves. He'd ask, are you acting according to your principles or according to your impulses? Set an alarm for noon. When it goes off, stop whatever you're doing and ask, am I doing what I said I would do this morning, or am I avoiding it? Be brutally honest. If you're avoiding, ask why. Usually it's fear disguised as not feeling it or being too busy. The Stoic response, do it anyway. Feel the fear, acknowledge the resistance, then act despite it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. You don't control whether you feel motivated. You do control whether you act. Evening, the review. This is the most powerful Stoic practice for lazy but ambitious people. Every night before bed, Seneca would review his entire day. He'd ask himself, what bad habit did I cure today? What temptation did I resist? What am I better at tonight than I was this morning? This isn't self-judgment, it's self-study. You're becoming a scientist of your own behavior. Get a journal. Every night, answer these 3 questions. What did I do today that moved me toward my goals? What did I avoid that I should have done? What will I do differently tomorrow? Be specific, not I'll work harder, but tomorrow at 9 a.m., I will write for 30 minutes before checking email. The Stoics knew that general intentions create zero change. Specific commitments create transformation. Here's what happens when you do this daily. You start seeing your patterns. You notice that you always make excuses around 2 p.m. You realize that you avoid hard tasks by doing busy work. You see that you're actually capable of way more than you're doing. This awareness is the beginning of change. 5. The transformation. So here's what happens when you actually implement this Stoic system. Week 1, you'll hate it. Everything in you will resist. You'll want to quit. This is normal. The Stoics call this initial resistance. Push through. Week 2, you'll start seeing tiny results. You'll notice you're getting more done. You'll feel slightly better about yourself. Keep going. Week 3, others will notice. They'll ask what changed. You'll realize the person you were 3 weeks ago was basically asleep. Week 4, you'll have momentum. The actions that felt impossible feel normal. You'll wonder why you waited so long. This isn't magic, it's consistency. The Stoics knew that small daily actions compound into massive life changes. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Well-being is realized by small steps, but is truly no small thing." You don't need a dramatic transformation moment. You need to show up daily. The person who does the boring work it beats the person who has dramatic motivation once a month. Epictetus taught, no great thing is created suddenly. Your ambition won't materialize overnight, but your daily discipline will build it brick by brick. The Stoics practiced what they called spiritual exercises, daily practices that gradually transform their character. That's what this is, not a quick fix, a daily practice. And here's the beautiful part. 6 months from now, you won't recognize yourself, not because of one big change, but because of 180 days of small ones. So let me ask you a question that Marcus Aurelius asked himself every single day. How much longer are you going to wait before you demand the best of yourself? Not the perfect version, not the someday version, the version that actually does the work. Today, now. You've been living in the gap, the painful space between who you are and who you know you could be. That gap is killing you, not dramatically, slowly. With every day you choose comfort over courage. With every evening you look back and realize you did nothing meaningful. With every promise you break to yourself. The Stoics understood something profound. You can't negotiate with yourself indefinitely. Eventually you run out of time. Eventually, someday becomes never. But here's the good news. You can change this right now. Not tomorrow, not Monday, not when you feel ready, now. Seneca said in his final letter, "Begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life." This moment right here, this is your beginning. Not when you finish this video, now. While you're still watching, subscribe if you're serious about this transformation. Comment no more excuses if you're done lying to yourself. And share this with someone who needs this wake-up call, because the Stoics believed wisdom should be shared, not hoarded. But most importantly, take one action toward your goal within the next hour. Not research, not planning, muchin. Call that client, send that email, write that page. Do that workout. Take that first step. Because here's what I know about you. You're not lazy. You're scared. Scared of failure. Scared of judgment. Scared of finding out you might not be as capable as you think. The Stoics would say, feel the fear, then act anyway. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's action despite fear. And every single time you act despite fear, you become stronger, more capable, more yourself. Marcus Aurelius on his deathbed didn't regret the things he tried and failed at. He would have regretted the things he was too scared to try. Don't get to the end of your life and realize you never actually lived. Don't let your ambition die in the graveyard of someday. The Stoics believe that every moment is a chance to begin again. This moment is yours. What will you do with it? Remember, you already know what to do. You're just not doing it. So stop watching, stop planning, stop preparing, start doing, wake up. Your life is waiting, and it won't wait forever. Now go and prove to yourself who you really are.